It comes as no surprise when I say that we are in the midst of transitional times. We are in the midst of an unstable economy. I want to talk about how your business can grow and thrive in this season. A lot of the biggest companies, they started in the midst of a recession. How did that happen? How did they thrive? I want to begin by talking about a few things that are not working in this season so we can steer clear of those, we can avoid those. Number one, putting all of your eggs in one basket. This is always true, but especially in this season, you do not want to put all of your eggs in one basket. What do I mean by that? This can be taken through the lens of your marketing. Where are you promoting your services? Where are you promoting your business? If you can only list off one particular platform, we may want to diversify a little bit. You can also think about this from a sales perspective. You can also think about this from a revenue perspective. What I really want to hone in on here are those three areas: your marketing, your sales, and your revenue. So when it comes to your marketing, assess, number one, what does your current marketing strategy look like? And number two, what is your bandwidth? Because I'd much rather you prioritize excellence with a couple of platforms than, feel like you have to come out of the gates and prioritize 5, 6, 7. There's power in diversification, but only if you also prioritize depth. The reality of it is if you see people in your space that are pulling off a large omni-channel marketing plan and they're doing it well, they probably have a team of people behind them. So I want you to assess your current marketing plan. And number two, what is your bandwidth? What is your capacity? Secondly, let's look at your sales. Where are your sales coming from? And a lot of times for an online business, this comes back to your marketing, those platforms that you are on. How are people finding you? And then more specifically, how are they entering into a sales process? If you are a startup, you may be prioritizing one-on-one sales. So we're selling people one-on-one for a high-ticket container. So for example, we may be looking to book sales calls. If you are a more established company, you may have a lot of opportunity to diversify here through passive income sources, setting up email funnels, having upsell processes, having retention processes. Where are your sales coming from? How are you selling people into your programs? So marketing, sales, and then revenue is another big one. Where does your revenue come from? Is it one predominant offer that you have, or do you have a nice, diverse, well built out, thought out offer suite? If you only have one particular source of revenue, we may want to look at the ability to diversify, coming from the lens of what season of business are you in and how can we prioritize depth and excellence. We never want to sacrifice on those things just to do more. But take a look at that. How can we diversify your marketing, your sales, and your revenue and not have all of your eggs in one basket? The second thing that is not working right now, waiting for opportunities and potential sales to come your way. There's this discussion and this mentality sometimes that I find in the online space where people just kind of expect that leads and sales are just always going to come their way and their inbox is going to be flooded with inquiries. Again, it depends on your season of business. Are you just starting? Do you have an established community? But no matter what season of business you're in, you need to have a proactive sales system in place. Don't sit back and just wait for things to fall into place for you. That is just not how life works. At the end of the day, you also have to take action. Action is so important. So do not be the person that's just waiting for business to come your way. It's a harsh but true reality that as founders, we are solely responsible for the success of our companies. And if we have a team, we're responsible for their livelihood. And I don't say that to instill fear, but I do say this to instill responsibility. I want you to feel empowered to take responsibility and ownership over your business and the success of your business. The third and final piece that is not working is being isolated. I see this time and time again, and I also used to do this as I was in the startup stage and I was building my network. I was so isolated and I had this expectation that if I released something, if I offered something, that inquiries would flood in. That was my expectation. There's so much power in building out a network of people, in leveraging collaborations. This can be as simple as connecting with people one-on-one, utilizing your primary marketing platforms as that bridge to connection, but expand your network and establish relationships. A lot of business, it's about who you know. And that will open so many doors in terms of how you can support a fellow founder or they can support you. Those are the things that are not working right now. So if you identify with any of those things, take a moment, have some grace and compassion, and let's kind of see how can we fill those gaps? How can we make some shifts and tweaks here? There is opportunity to be had in this season. There are people that need your services, support, products. If there's anyone listening that is under the impression that people don't buy during times like this, please know that that is so far from the truth. People still have needs. They still have desires, and you have the solution to some of those things. That doesn't go away just because we're in an unstable economy. There are people that actually need what you bring to the table. Lean into the service side of that. It's about how can I be of service to my community in this season? Know that there is goodness and breakthrough and abundance and opportunity to be found in this season.